Hello guys, today I'm going to read about communities alike and different, but don't not fully. Grade 2 Level 3 Fun Facts. The first subway system in the United States was built in Boston. New York City has the highest population in the United States. Most cities have at least one daily newspaper. Social studies subject. So, in this book, you focus on in this book, you read about different communities. Like, you'll explore what communities might have in common and what might be different. So, at the vocabulary part, these are the kind of community, like urban community, suburban community, or rural community. You might know one of the community. Comment down below, and if you might think one of the communities you might know. Also, I don't think that you can think of them. So, anyways, let's go read. Let's read the book. Communities are alike and different. How they are alike and how they are different in many ways. Communities are made up of neighborhoods or places where people live and work together. Some communities have different neighborhoods crowded in small areas. Each community uses lands differently and creates neighborhoods for people living there. There are three types of communities. Urban communities have a city. A city is a very large community with many different neighborhoods close together. Urban neighborhoods are crowded and have many buildings. Some urban neighborhoods have their own identifier, such as Chinatown or Little Italy. Other urban neighborhoods have many businesses. People usually live in apartment buildings in urban neighborhoods. Urban communities bring many different types of cultures together. Rural communities. So in the last page, in page 3, you have learned about urban, and now let's move on to suburbs. Suburbs are communities near city. So, they have houses for families to live in. Many people who work in the city live in the suburbs. A suburb is sometimes called a town. A suburb usually has a town center where people have a place to shop. There may be neighborhoods around the town center. Rural communities have not a lot of open space. Rural communities are very spread out the overlap. Many rural areas have farms with land to grow crops or raise animals. People in the rural communities usually live and work on farms. There are not many shops in rural communities. People usually have to drive to town to shop. In urban communities, people in neighborhoods that have a lot of apartment buildings. Many people and families live in each apartment building. People sometimes walk down the hall to visit their neighbors. Families usually do not have their own yards. Like us, I live in an apartment. In urban neighborhoods, some families make small gardens or their balconies by planting flowers and vegetables in flower boxes like these. In communities, people live in neighborhoods with many houses near each other. They can walk to their neighborhoods, ask for a visit. Their houses usually have trees and yards around them. Some families plant flowers or vegetables gardens. There is a land to grow all kinds of things. So this is also about rural communities. In rural communities, there's usually a lot of room between the houses. Neighbors may not live close to another one. People sometimes need to drive if they want to visit a neighbor. In urban communities, neighborhoods are very crowded and busy. Like this, there are many neighborhoods or people. There are many stores and restaurants in urban neighborhoods. People shop near their apartments and can sometimes walk to the market to buy food. Urban communities also have many cultural centers and parks. People can visit museums and libraries. In suburban communities, the town center may be a meeting place for people. People usually walk or drive a short distance to the town center. People go to town to shop. There may be a market, small shops, and a few restaurants. Families and friends meet to spend time together. There's also shopping malls near the suburbs. The shopping malls have many types of stores. People go to shopping malls to buy things they cannot find in town. In rural communities, the town center is very small. People need to drive to town. There's usually a market and only a few shops. There are few meeting places for friends and family. In rural communities, families and friends spend more time together at home. People need to visit bigger towns and cities to shop, eat out, or visit a museum. In urban communities, people move quickly from place to place. Many people use public transportation. People take buses or subways to travel to places in the city. In urban neighborhoods, many people walk and may not drive a car. Their neighborhoods are too crowded for parking space. Driving in the city can be slow because there is a lot of traffic. In suburban communities, many people use cars for transportation. Streets in suburban communities have less traffic than city streets, so it's easier to drive from place to place. Other people ride bicycles or walk. There's also buses in suburban communities, but there's usually fewer buses than in urban communities. Suburbs have many buses in the morning and late afternoon. People use these buses to get to work and school. Many people in suburbs live far from where they work. Many people work in the city near their town. Many towns have train station. People take trains to the city. In rural communities, people use cars to travel from place to place. People usually live too far away from place to walk. Some people ride bicycles, like me. Buses usually do not travel from neighborhoods to neighborhoods in rural communities. People can take a bus from the town center to another town or to the city. There are usually only few buses that run each day. People may have to plan their travel around this bus segment. Communities. So, actually, this was a conclusion. Well, so in conclusion, communities are the same in many ways. Some have neighborhoods with people and families. People live, work, and travel in communities. People are often connected to one another in their communities. Communities are different in many ways. Communities are different in many ways. Communities use land differently for neighborhoods. Some communities have neighborhoods with many people. Some communities have neighborhoods with people living near each other and working in other communities. Communities are a special place to live. Closer community, a neighbor, a place that's made up of many neighborhoods. Rural, an area with small communities and open space. Suburb, a type of community that is located near the city. Urban, an area that has a city. Write to it. Describe your favorite kind of community. How is it same and different from where you live now? Write one paragraph about your ideas. Write your paragraph on another sheet of paper. Well, seems is the different well, you know, this the same thing that is actually is a suburb, or so where I live now is actually a community, or it's rural, or in a suburb. Because a community is a place that is made up of many neighborhoods, and I live in an apartment. This apartment has 32 floors, so actually I think that must be way too many neighborhoods. Rural is an area with small communities and open space. Well, there is an open space that actually has a city, though, which is a suburb, because suburb is a type of community that is located near the city. So it's also a urban because urban is an area that has a city. So my guess is actually years later, years ago, there's actually a town. Was actually a urban, and also there's also a community. Actually, there's also a community, but at that, I might say that's just too less. I think this is just right. Isn't? It's also be a rule though. But that's the same. And the only difference that where I live is a suburb and an urban. So yeah. That's enough for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye and have a great day.